What's up, Blue Jays fans? Welcome to Jays Latest. I am your host, Craig Borden. We are here to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays and talk wonderful fun on the hot stove because things are already starting to heat up. As the Blue Jays obviously are looking to get back to the wonderful world of the World Series, the Toronto Blue Jays are obviously hungry and on the hunt for all things talent. Why not, right? We already got a good base to this team. The pieces we're losing, obviously, Bo Bichette still being the biggest ding to the whole thing. But we have plenty of money maybe to potentially add back to this. And I think Rogers and all the wonderful fun that is Major League Baseball is finally starting to get all the things that us Toronto Blue Jays fans have known for, 50 years actually as of this spring. Shocking, right? So on that note, the word is out. Blue Jays are a place to go. The city is hopping. All these wonderful, fun things are going properly and right. And somebody that had a lot of weird things to say about the Blue Jays over the years is finally caught wind of what's going on, or at least drank the Kool-Aid. And that is mega agent Scott Boras, the one that we all love to hate, the one that is the impersonation and embodiment of all the things we didn't like about the Jerry Maguire movie. So, on that note, excuse me, too hard laughing. Scott Boras comes on record today at the GM meetings and has nothing but praise for what's going on north of the border for us Blue Jays fans. And it was just very interesting to see that he was actually on board saying that this is a lovely place that everybody should want to play in. Toronto is a winning franchise, and I would strongly consider being a part of it, would be the exact wording. And to that point, these are things that did not come out of this gentleman's mouth until Hyunjin Ryu started playing with us. But he goes on to say in this same interview, Toronto is one of the top 4 of 5 markets in major leagues, and I think we'll see the ownership commitment and every bit of behavior to support and advance that. When you become a winning club, players notice, and that is right there, the big piece to it, right? So the camaraderie, the wonderful stuff we saw in this offseason, the fact that everybody wants to be hanging out with Vlad Jr. because he might be fun and he's a hell of a damn good ball player. It's all these wonderful things that are playing into that factor. The Blue Jays could be a destination this offseason, not just the butt end of the joke for the Shohei's on the plane or any of these other wonderful things that have not went in the Blue Jays' way over the past few years. So, on that note, what could the Toronto Blue Jays do next with that kind of praise? Well, what if we just stole from the playbook a little bit here from a wonderful World Series team that literally, by the acts of the baseball gods in inches, just beat us in this previous World Series? Let's read from the scorebook. Copy the Dodgers fun. Recruit heavy from our wonderful friends in Japan and the Asian market, period. Korean baseball, all these places are ripe with baseball talent. And let's talk about a few of those, actually, because this might be one of the better markets for the Japanese players to be coming over to in a long time. There is some great talent in 3 guys that we've actually seen in the World Baseball Classic. One who actually had the game-winning hit in one of those games and a home run, and as Kazuma Okamoto. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do my best to keep learning these names and pronounce them properly. But Okamoto, like I said, first third baseman, tons of pop, 277 home runs in the Japanese Baseball League, 11 seasons in that. So he's been playing for a long time and has insane pop. Very cool. Very great to see. Would be a wonderful addition to any Major League Baseball team. Munetaka Murakami is probably the one that's going to be the most sought after because out of the 3 major Japanese players that have posted, he is easily the hands-down favorite. He's younger. In 8 seasons, he has 265 home runs, and he plays the same positions as Okamoto. So first and third base are those priorities for both those 2 gentlemen and would be great fits in any major league lineup. Okamoto might have a little bit more swing and mess in this game that might lead to some differences in opinion, and there's some rumors flying around that he has a little hard time catching up to the fastball. Or at least that's what's floating around the Jaybird watching Discord chat. So, to that point, I don't care. Roll the dice. Get it. You have a chance to add a bat with that kind of thunder to it, you figure it out. And with Murakami, oh my God, he's 25 years old. Lock him up for 5 years and see what the contract goes. And he would have an insanely good time playing in Toronto. The community and the culture in Toronto is so diverse and so much fun. I love going there, and I love doing whatever I can to just hang out in the city. It's got to be the same for all these players. So it's going to be a beautiful thing if it ends up coming to fruition. But I want to focus in on one that could be very, very good and actually a very solid fit for the Toronto Blue Jays. And that is the third gentleman here on this list, and that is Tatsuya Imai. So Imai has been very good for 8 seasons. He's a 3.15 ERA, and he's on the same team that gave the Major League Baseball, the Boston Red Sox, Daisuke Matsuzaka. He's not projected to be the Shota Yamada. So he's kind of in the Cody Senga ballpark. But to that point, that is very good for this Toronto Blue Jays team. You get somebody that comes into this great rotation that we are having, has a chance to do something really well, and this young righty could be one that spells that wonderfulness to this team. He rounds 95, 99 miles an hour with the ball that's just a little bit smaller in the Japanese Baseball League. Nothing too crazy, though, but he has a swing and miss strikeout rate of 70% on that fastball. So he's throwing it 53% of the time in the league. It's a 53% whiff rate. That's just really cool with a dominant slider as well. So I think there's some smoke to that fire. He is a very talented pitcher. He does great things. He's maybe not going to be the most expensive of those guys, but the other thing that is haunting me in this whole fact is that the Yankees are also knocking at the door. So if you want to keep the chance for repeating and taking the American League Championship crown and going to the World Series for potential to win it, you're going to have to probably go through those New York Yankees that are going to have their pocketbooks completely wide open and just go and take my money at this point for this offseason. So if you have a chance to steal somebody like Imai, maybe it's a really good idea. He's also 27 years old, so he has plenty of potential to be able to continue doing good things in Major League Baseball. So I really think that that's a great move for the Blue Jays, one that spells success and could be a surprise. What if he ends up being Yamamoto or something like that? Or even if he just ends up being a solid pitcher to the point where he is really helping anchor out this rotation. The Blue Jays still have a very good rotation, but you don't know what you're going to get as Barrios and Gossman continue to get older. Obviously, we have the new incumbent of a potential ace in Trey Savage. We have a bunch of other youngsters in the minor leagues that could spell that success too, including possible returns from Bowden Francis, get Chris Bassett back, or maybe Mad Max. So, on that note, would you rather go older and get those two guys back? Hope for a bounce back year from Bowden Francis after having basically no hitters every start the year before that? Or do you go out and get another young arm like Imai here and get him into this ballpark and see what that does? Because I do think that would do wonders for a beautiful city that is Toronto and the just rich culture that we have and all that kind of good stuff. That if this door gets open to the Japanese market for Toronto and the whole entire country gets behind Imai and all these wonderful things continue to build off of that, more Japanese players are going to want to come play in Toronto. Kick that door in. There is an insane amount of talent in the Japanese Baseball League. So let's go. Let's get it. So what do you think? Hit us up in the comments. Do you think that that's a good idea? Or you rather have Mad Max back as your fifth starter? Or what is on your mind? Talk to us. Hit us up in the comments. See what's going on. We're here to talk. Make sure you tune in the next few weeks on my other podcast, the Jaybird Watching Podcast. We're going to have a wonderful plethora of guests, and we're almost at number 500 for our weekly show. So make sure you tune in live as we chit-chat with everybody. And if you missed our fun with Rance Mullenix, please check that video out. Rance had insanely good stories, and we had a wonderful time talking with him. So until then, make sure you hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons, and you'll make sure we're here every day we can be, and we're going to talk all things Blue Jays. Cheers. Let's go Blue Jays.